Gentlemen, if you've ever looked into a woman's eyes and felt like she wanted more, but you couldn't figure out what that more actually was, then stop everything and lean in. Because Dr. Mendoza is about to reveal something 99% of men will never hear directly from a woman's mouth. Here's the truth. Women rarely communicate their deepest desires openly. Not because they don't trust you, not because they're shy, but because they're wired to respond not to your questions, but to your energy, your presence, and your leadership. Women feel before they think. They respond to sensations before words. They trust the man who can guide an experience without being told every step. That's why so many men over 40, 50, and 60 sabotage intimacy without even realizing it. They rely on routine. They rush. They operate from performance pressure instead of playful exploration. And slowly, silently, a woman begins to crave something she won't mention, but hopes you magically understand. So today, I'm giving you 7 safe, powerful, science-based, and woman-approved methods that trigger her emotional and sensual brain without graphic instructions, without anything unsafe, and with full respect for real female psychology. These are not tricks. These are not vulgar moves. These are behavioral switches that make a woman open up, relax, melt, and crave more connection with you. Before we continue, tap that subscribe button and tell Mendoza in the comments which city you're watching from, because today's video may save relationships that have been quietly fading for years. Method number 1, the slow burn approach. She secretly craves gentlemen, Mendoza here, and this first method is something women rarely admit, but every single one of them responds to on a biological level. It's called the slow burn approach, and it is the exact opposite of what most men over 40 tend to do in the bedroom. Here's the truth. Men are wired like microwaves, fast to heat up, fast to want action, fast to want results. Women, on the other hand, are wired like ovens. They warm slowly, evenly, richly, and once they heat up, they stay warm long after the moment ends. When you approach a woman with the same speed and directness you use in your daily life, her nervous system doesn't get time to switch into the sensual side of her brain. She ends up feeling physically there, but mentally disconnected. But when you use the slow burn approach, everything changes. Women feel safe, grounded, turned on, and intensely connected without you needing to do anything graphic or complicated. It's about atmosphere, intention, and pacing. Start by sending a signal, not a request, not a question, a subtle, confident physical cue, a gentle touch on her lower back while passing behind her, a warm hand on her waist for 3 seconds longer than usual, sitting close enough that she feels your presence without pressure. This activates her limbic brain, the part responsible for emotional bonding and desire. The key, slow everything down by 40%. Your touch, your breathing, your movements, your transitions. Women interpret slowness as confidence, awareness, and mastery. It tells her, I'm here, I'm focused, I'm not rushing, you matter. That single energetic shift can make her body respond in ways you haven't seen in years without saying a word. Method number 2, the trizone touch that melts her into you. Gentlemen, Dr. Sophia here, and this is one of the most misunderstood, underused, and wildly effective methods women wish men knew. I call it the trizone touch. And once you master it, you will instantly feel her entire body soften, open up, and pull toward you without you needing to try harder. Most men go straight for one area, the obvious one. But women aren't wired like switches. They're wired like circuits. Her desire builds through connection points, not isolated actions. Here's how the trizone touch works. Zone 1, the emotional center, upper chest, and shoulders. This is where trust begins. Place your hand gently on her upper chest, not her breasts, above the collarbone area, or slowly trace her shoulder. This signals safety. It lowers cortisol, her stress hormone, and tells her nervous system, I can relax with him. Zone 2, the sensory center, lower back, and hips. This is where her body becomes aware of you. Hold her lower back with your whole hand or let your fingers rest lightly on her hips. Slow, intentional touch here activates her parasympathetic nervous system, the deep relaxation and arousal mode. It literally primes her body to feel more. Zone 3, the anticipation center, inner thigh and side thigh. This is where her desire spikes. But, and I mean this as a doctor, never start here. This zone only becomes powerful when zones 1 and 2 are already lit. When you finally touch her side thigh or inner thigh slowly, gently, her brain interprets this as deep desire, not impatience. Why this works? Biologically, women's arousal pathways spread outward like a network. You activate them by building layers of safety, awareness, anticipation. When men skip the first 2 zones, women often can't feel even if they want to. Emotionally, she feels wanted but not pressured, seen, not rushed, desired, not grabbed at. This is the difference between okay intimacy and the kind she remembers for days. Practically, you're step by step. Start with her upper chest or shoulders 30 to 60 seconds. Slide to her lower back, hips. Go slow, 20 to 30% slower than you think. Only then move to her thighs. Maintain a calm, steady breath. She will unconsciously match it. Don't talk too much. Presence is more powerful than words here. This alone has made many men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s tell me, "Doc, she hasn't reacted like that in years." It's because you're finally speaking her body's language. Method number 3, the pressure wave technique. Women secretly crave this, but rarely ask for it. Gentlemen, Mendoza here. And this next method is something women universally respond to regardless of age, body type, or experience level. Most men touch either too softly, which feels ticklish, or too hard, which feels overwhelming. What women actually crave is rhythmic, controlled pressure, what I call the pressure wave technique. This technique mimics the pattern of stimulation women naturally respond to during peak arousal, but you apply it externally with your hands in a way that's safe, intimate, and unbelievably effective. Let's break it down biologically. Why this works? Women have a concentration of highly sensitive nerve endings around the clitoral hood, labia, and the surrounding pelvic area. But here's the key. They don't fire all at once. They fire in patterns. Think of it like tuning an old radio. If you move the dial too fast, all you get is static. But move it slowly, rhythmically, and suddenly the signal becomes clear. The pressure wave technique activates the nerve clusters in a sequence that builds arousal naturally without overwhelming her system. It boosts blood flow, increases pelvic warmth, and heightens sensation with every wave you create. Emotionally, what she feels when you do this right, she feels grounded, safe, intensely focused on the moment, and deeply connected to you. It creates the feeling of "he really gets my body," which is extremely rare for women and incredibly bonding. Most men rush. This is the opposite. This is slow mastery, practically just step-by-step instructions. Here's exactly how you do the pressure wave technique. 1. Start with the outer pelvic area, not the center. Place your hand on the soft area just above her pelvis. Apply firm, warm, steady pressure for 3 to 5 seconds. Do not move yet. Let the warmth sink in. 2. Begin slow waves with your fingers. Using your fingers, create a slow movement that goes from outer pelvis down toward the pubic mound, then stop before the clitoris. This creates anticipation without overstimulation. 3. Maintain a slow rhythm. Count in your head. 1 wave every 4 to 6 seconds. Slow enough for her to feel, fast enough to build momentum. 4. Increase the pressure, not the speed. This is where most men mess up. Speed kills sensation for women. Pressure increases it. Thicker, slower pressure equals deeper pleasure. 5. Read her body, not her words. Her breath will tell you everything. If it gets shallow, lighten the pressure. If it gets deeper, keep going. If she lifts her hips, you're doing it perfectly. When men in my clinic learn this, they come back shocked, saying, Mendoza, she literally grabbed my arm and begged me not to stop. It's because this technique triggers her deepest nerve responses, the ones most partners never activate. Method number 4, the breath sync method, the move that makes her body melt into yours. Gentlemen, if you master this one technique, your entire intimate life will transform. I'm not exaggerating. This is the method women describe as the moment everything changed. I'm Mendoza, and today I'm going to teach you one of the most psychologically powerful, biologically synced methods women crave but rarely talk about, the breath sync method. This is the technique that makes her feel emotionally seen, physically safe, and sexually open at a level she may have never experienced before. Most men never learn this, but once you do, she will feel more connected to you during sex than ever before. Let's break it down the right way. Biologically, why breath sync works so powerfully. Women's arousal depends heavily on the parasympathetic nervous system, the same part of the brain that controls calmness, emotional safety, and deep body relaxation. When her breath is chaotic, shallow, or rushed, her body literally cannot reach deeper levels of pleasure. But when you sync your breathing with hers, something incredible happens. Her muscles relax, her pelvic floor opens, her blood flow increases, her brain shifts into deep arousal mode. It's like you're tuning both of your bodies into the same frequency. And once that happens, every touch, every kiss, every movement becomes 10 times more pleasurable for her emotionally. What she feels when you do this. Women crave emotional connection during intimacy, not because they're emotional, but because their bodies literally respond to safety and presence. When you sync your breath with hers, she feels he's fully here with me. I can let go. I can give in to this moment completely. My body is safe with him. And gentlemen, when a woman feels safe, she becomes uninhibited, responsive, and intensely expressive. This method unlocks the side of her she may keep hidden with partners who never learned how to guide the moment. Practically how to perform the breath sync method step by step. Here's exactly what to do. Step 1. Get close enough to feel her breath. Your face should be close to her neck or lips. You don't need to say anything, just feel her breathing rhythm. Step 2. Match her exhale first. Most men try to set the pace. Wrong. You follow first. She will follow you later. Match her exhale slowly. Fully. Step 3. Gradually slow the rhythm by 5 to 10%. Not a big change, just enough to calm her nervous system. Women's bodies instinctively mirror slower breaths. Step 4. Add touch only after the sync happens. Once her breathing syncs with yours, every touch feels amplified. This is the perfect moment to kiss her neck, trace her shoulders, or guide your hands to the areas she responds to most. Step 5. Use your breath. During penetration or fingering, when you inhale, slow down your movement. When you exhale, deepen or apply pressure. This creates a pattern her body can't resist because it feels like your bodies are communicating without words. Men who learn this come back shocked. Mendoza. She started moaning before I even touched her. Yes, because her mind and body were already open. This is what real intimacy feels like. Method number 5. The slowed edge technique. The secret women are too shy to ask for. Gentlemen, if there's one technique women secretly wish every man understood, it's this one. Most women will never say these words out loud, but they crave it deeply. Don't rush me. Build me. I'm Mendoza, urologist for over 12 years. And let me tell you something clinical and psychological at the same time. Women reach their most intense pleasure from gradual rising stimulation, not non-stop speed. And that is exactly what the slow edge technique delivers. This is the method that makes a woman's body shake, her breathing stutter, and her mind go completely blank because you're guiding her right to the edge of release, then keeping her there long enough to multiply her pleasure. Let's break it down. Biologically, why this sends her over the edge. Women's arousal isn't a straight line. It's a wave powered by oxytocin, dopamine, pelvic floor contractions, blood pooling in the clitoral network. When you go slow, steady, and intentional, these hormones build slowly, and that's what gives her that deep, consuming pleasure. When you pull back right before she peaks, you delay the climax and her body stores the built-up tension. Do this 2 to 3 times, and her eventual release becomes 2 to 3 times more powerful because the nervous system has been primed like a loaded spring. This is why women crave this, but rarely explain it. Most men rush the process or get impatient emotionally, what she feels during slow edging. This technique hits her emotions just as strongly as her body. Here's what she feels when you do it right. He's in control. He's paying attention to my body. He's not rushing through this. He actually wants me to feel good. And the biggest one, I can surrender to him because this technique requires presence, rhythm, confidence, and emotional intelligence. Traits she associates with the kind of man she's fully comfortable letting go with. When she feels this level of confidence in you, she becomes more vocal, more responsive, and more expressive than ever before. Practically how to perform the slow edge technique step by step. Here is the exact method. Step 1. Start slow, much slower than you think. Whether it's fingers, lips, or penetration, slow down. If you think you're going slow, go even slower. This settles her nervous system into deep arousal mode. Step 2. Watch for her tell signs. Every woman has micro signals when she's close. Her thighs tighten, her breathing goes uneven, her back arches, her hips push forward, her hands grip something. These signs mean she's climbing toward climax. Step 3. Ease up just before she peaks. You don't stop. You just lighten the intensity. This makes her body almost beg internally. Step 4. Let her settle for 3 to 5 seconds. No one ever teaches men this pause. But clinically, this is where the nervous system resets and amplifies the next wave. Step 5. Build again slightly faster or deeper. Each time you return to stimulation, increase the intensity by about 10 to 20%. This escalation is what creates the uncontrollable pleasure. Step 6. On the final round, don't stop. Let her ride the wave all the way through. Her body will shake, tense, release, and she will remember this forever. Men who master this technique get feedback like, "Where did you learn that? What did you do to me? I've never felt that before." And you become the man who understands her pleasure better than anyone who came before. Method number 6, emotional tuning. Before physical touch, 250 to 300 words. Gentlemen, if you've ever wondered why sometimes she's hot, receptive, and ready, and other times she feels distant, distracted, or not in the mood, here's the truth that almost no man over 50 has ever been taught. Women become physically open only when they feel emotionally aligned. And no, that does not mean you need to write poetry, overshare feelings, or turn into a therapist. Emotional tuning is simply the ability to sense her internal state the same way you'd sense the temperature in a room. When a room is cold, you don't yell at it, you adjust the thermostat. Women are the same. Their emotional world is their thermostat. Right now, you might be thinking, "Doc, what does this have to do with sex?" Everything. Emotional alignment is what turns a woman's nervous system from guarded to receptive. And when that flip happens, her breathing deepens, her muscles relax, blood flow increases, sensitivity rises, and her entire body becomes more responsive, even craving your touch. This is biology, gentlemen, not drama. Women's brains require emotional safety to fully activate the arousal pathway. When that switch is on, every kiss, every stroke, every movement hits 10 times deeper. Here's the practical part. Before you escalate physically, spend 2 minutes checking in with her energy, not her words. Stand close, lower your voice, ask one simple grounding question. How's your day been feeling for you? Not how was your day, but how did it feel? That one word feel opens her up. When she answers, don't fix, don't interrupt, don't redirect. Just listen and validate with a short, steady response like, "I hear you. Come here." That combination, acknowledgement plus gentle physical pull, melts her guard instantly. Do this consistently and she won't just want sex. She'll want sex with you because you're the man who gets her nerve system ready before you ever touch her body. Method number 7. The rhythm rule. The one women secretly wish men knew. Gentlemen, if you learn only one thing from this entire video, let it be this. Women don't climax from intensity. They climax from rhythm. This is the rule almost every woman wishes men understood, but they rarely say it because they don't want to hurt your ego. Women crave consistency, not chaos. They want a rhythm their body can build on, not random patterns their brain can't sync with. Let me explain the biology. Because once you get this, your entire bedroom experience changes. A woman's arousal system is like a wave. It starts small, rolls forward, grows, stabilizes, and eventually crests into orgasm. Most men over 50 accidentally break the wave right before it peaks by changing speed, pressure, angle, or pattern at the wrong moment. You think switching it up shows skill, but to her body, it feels like someone unplugged the speaker right before the best part of the song. Emotionally, rhythm is safety. When she feels your movements are predictable, not boring, predictable, her brain stops analyzing and finally lets go. That's when she stops thinking and starts feeling. That's when the moans become involuntary. That's when the legs start shaking. That's when her whole body responds to you on instinct. Now, the practical part, and this is where things become powerful. Pick a pace, pick a pressure, pick a pattern, and stay there for at least 90 seconds. That's the sweet spot where her clitoral nerves fully activate. Don't rush. Don't accelerate unless she asks. Don't switch positions trying to spice things up. The spice is in the consistency. You can change rhythm later, but only when her body is already riding the wave. Master this rule, gentlemen, and she won't just be satisfied. She'll be addicted to your